tip of the Australian Alps, 45 minutes from Canberra, this vast swath of pristine wilderness is home to countless unique animals, including this one.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least a couple of hundred dingoes getting around in Namadgi National Park specifically.
Few animals are as controversial as the dingo, celebrated by ecologists and First Australians as part of country and an important apex predator, and villainised by governments and landholders for their impact on livestock. But it seems accurate information on this population is as elusive as the animals themselves.
We don't know too much about what's going on in the mountains and how lethal control might affect dingo populations.
Using a network of more than 100 camera traps placed strategically across Namadgi's 107,000 hectares and operating remotely 24/7, that's exactly what this PhD student is trying to establish. Because while genetic analysis has challenged assumptions which underpin regulatory frameworks nationally,
recent studies have shown that a lot of the dingoes that are out in the wild are pretty much genetically pure dingoes. There's been a lot of debate lately about what is a dingo, what is a wild dog, and how we classify them.
Updates to policy and public opinion are slow going.
Doesn't look like any dingo I've seen.
Presumably crossed with a mutt. That's not a dingo, but it is a domestic dog.
Keepers at the National Zoo and Aquarium are taking an educative approach to the attitude shift, with their 4 resident dingoes making the perfect teacher's aides.
Our role is to somewhat subvert common thoughts to make sure that the people that go through our facility walk away with a clearer understanding of dingoes in the environment.
Namadgi dingo Misha is among the 4 after being mistaken for a domestic dog and rescued from the park by her original owners.
But I dare say the most beneficial part is education.
In ACT legislation, the dingo's listed as both native wildlife and invasive pest animal, and dingoes, feral dogs and their hybrids are collectively referred to as wild dogs. They're managed on the park's periphery near grazing land, using lethal control activities like trapping and poison baiting. Given their important ecological function and cultural significance, many researchers believe dingo populations should be managed using non-lethal control methods where appropriate. This approach is already being trialled in Newcastle and northwest Victoria. The Maya Lakes Dingo Project uses chemical and acoustic repellents, while the Victorian government's pilot program includes guardian animals like maremas.
It's just good that we don't blanket outright control them without first considering what the ecosystem impacts may be.
The ACT government is under pressure to make changes here following an Assembly committee's review.
We're actually finalising the research right now, so I am waiting for advice in terms of confirming the genetics of our populations.
The Territory's Rural Landholders Association also wants a clearer understanding. But in the meantime, and in response to unacceptably high stock losses in recent months, it says a team in the Environment Division is working more proactively with contractors and farmers. Emmy Groves, ABC News, Canberra.